we've got our numbers, Dad's, mine, and John's for VOMP. So, John, what you do is start us off since you and Drew have to be somewhere shortly. So
Sure. So this week we had 38 warm replies, 18 auditions.
wow.
Waiting on a lot of those still, to come back. Not sure who won those or if we have any answers on those just yet.
Some of those I remember, though, were specific, like a client said, we would like you to audition. It wasn't some of them were general, like 3 or 4 people, or maybe they're adding people that we don't even know about. But I know there were a couple at least that somebody got, they were bored, just samples. It was theirs to lose.
Yeah. And there were some that came back. It's the roster, and they came back. They've used us a few times, and so, or at least inquired about, or had people do auditions. So that's encouraging to hear and see that we're getting some repeat customers, or just at least repeat people checking out the roster.
It's a good sign.
So we're waiting to hear back on those 4 jobs. Joe and I were going back and forth with a couple people with the VOMP update. That we just couldn't confirm yet that they got the job. Or they got the job, but there's some details to work out, so we didn't want to jump the gun and present those just yet. So hopefully either this week or in the next couple weeks we'll have a couple answers for people getting jobs that they reported that they're looking to get in the works this week. So those people were Kim Wilson, Jennifer Keister, Noel Romano, and Jack Hicks were 4 jobs.
I had one too.
And at least one. Yeah, I think that we put down. So but I didn't include that in our numbers because I figured that you'd report those in yours. So,
I didn't give you guys my numbers other than the audition that I had.
Okay,
I didn't give you guys my warm replies, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I didn't get any jobs. So, but
tough to give us your numbers then.
Yeah, it is tough to give numbers when you have 0. So.
You mean from last week, or
no? Just I
you
didn't
have
get
numbers from this week, right?
I do. I just didn't get any jobs this week.
Anything else going on with VOMP that we need to highlight? That I know we have something that we're working on diligently, and I don't want to spill the beans at all because that's up to you guys to release things and such. But so don't comment on it if you don't want to. But
I guess we'll just hold off.
Yeah, maybe next week or something.
Yep. Yeah, I've maybe reported this a few times. I can't always remember, but I did report in the Friday VOMP update just that, again, we're seeing good progress with people seeing success with their direct email marketing, especially those that have stayed with us for over 6 months. It's probably even more than that time, but it's even happening with those. I shouldn't say even, but just good to see that some of the people that maybe are in the lower, they just decided to start with us at a certain amount. Maybe it's not near as much maybe as some of the people in the total care right now.
Right.
But they're seeing success, and we count that when it comes to obviously warm replies, auditions, and jobs, and so we're getting some auditions and things like that from those people. At least that. We're getting reports on. So that's encouraging for us. So,
yeah.
Direct email marketing works on whatever level you do it. However many emails you send out, you're still going to get some sort of return.
Yep, that's exactly right. How about your numbers?
I think that you guys have to go.
Yeah, I guess we'll head out.
We'll let you guys go so you don't have to.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And maybe next week we have 2 microphones. That's another
We're just
huge
adding,
thing.
one after another. So you guys won't have to share anymore.
That's a huge development.
All right. So this week was the last week that I worked with the PowerPoints on Upwork. I'm all done with them, barring any revisions or anything like that. But that was my last week. I did 13 of them. So that was $195. And then I got that job. I talked about it, I think, 2 weeks ago. I was going to from a client that I've worked with multiple times.
England?
They're from the UK, yeah. And I ended up getting it. So it was 150 British pounds, right? Great, whatever they...
150, yep.
Yeah, GBP.
Great British pounds, yep.
And so that's, depending on the day, whenever they send it to me, it'll be whatever, because it goes up and down. The currency does, it changes. So I don't know exactly what that'll be. At the time that I checked, it was $185 roughly.
Yeah.
And then I got 6 warm replies this week. And then I got 1 audition from a guy that just got a hold of me this week. So he said, I have something for you already. Not like I had won it, but that I had a chance to win it. And
Is that the guy you were going back and forth with?
No, that was actually another guy that I went back and forth with, who also gave me a reply. I sent him my rate sheet, and he said that looks good. We talked about, equipment, stuff like that, kind of just all things that you need to figure out with a client. And he said that he'd put me on their short list, which was really nice of him.
Nice.
So that was that. And I didn't even total up my stuff. So why don't what I do here is quickly do that. So I made $463.78 this week.
Is that your biggest week?
Probably not.
Okay,
Probably
close
last year when I was doing, in July, I was doing really well with just lots of jobs, not like real high paying, but like lots of jobs in a row, which was nice. And then I had some other jobs with some clients that I was doing. So that's probably not. There was 1 month or 1 week that I made $1,500 just because I had one job that was not one job, but one client that used me with multiple jobs that ended up being $1,500. So that's a little bit hard to beat.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
So those are my numbers.
Good for you. 400, what was it?
Sorry.
$63, I think you said.
$463.78.
You bet. Keep even get the cents in there too.
Hey,
Okay, so how much time do I have here? Honestly, do I have 5 minutes?
yeah,
or?
go ahead.
Okay, so I had 1 new client, 2 warm responses, and it's interesting because my assistant Andy is going even more global. We're doing the Middle East and such, and I had one from Kuwait. People wanted my prices. I had another one from Germany. They put me on their list, and so glad for that. And then my new client was from Ireland. Northern Ireland. And I did a Source Connect with some Irish guys on Monday. This was my biggest week ever. I said in the introduction, the 2 other weeks one was in July of 2021 last year, and that was 10,480. And in October of 2020, I looked this up, and I had $10,280. Those were my highest. I've had 9 and 8 and 7 and a few of those, multiple ones, but this is my 3rd week over 10,000, and it was a fair amount over that. I told you last week about winning that audition a few weeks ago, and that's my biggest payout of my career, over $10,000 for 4 sessions, 4 sessions with 4 30-second commercials that are going to be played worldwide, if you will, on the internet and then some other places in the United States.
Nice.
Now, I get auditions from these guys fairly regularly, but I don't always decide to do it. They're usually fairly well-paying jobs, but I don't always decide. They're always Source Connect. They're always live directed. This studio always uses Source Connect. But I just decided that I was going to do this one. So it was just a little bit happenstance. And like I said, they paid me over $10,000 for 4 commercials. That's $2,555 per session. Each session, typically when I get on a Source Connect, if I do a 30-second commercial, sometimes it takes 15 minutes. Well, most of them took almost 45 minutes. So they worked me.
So you earned your stripes.
Yeah, I mean, $2,555 for 45 minutes of work. I'll do that all the time, even if people really work me. But I just want to talk with you and with the folks out here just a little bit about the sessions. The sessions followed this pattern. There were 4 to 6 people listening. There was a director who had been the copywriter. There were a couple of other producers. And then there were people they just had as part of their studio that they wanted listening in. Kind of people that are going to be doing this in the future. And so it wasn't really a private session. There were 4 to 6 people every time. What they did was they'd have me do 2 full reads. This happened every single time. And by the way, I have one more session on Monday with them to close things out. 2 full reads for timing. And then the director took me section by section, basically each sentence. And typically he would say, okay, I like the direction of that's going. So, and then he would say, give me 3 more and emphasize different words. And lots and lots and lots, and I'm not overemphasizing this, lots and lots of emphasizing. Now we're going to emphasize this word. And sometimes, in all honesty, there were emphasis, when I was marking up my script on the computer with highlighting and different things like that to try to emphasize and give me cues. But every word sometimes in a sentence was supposed to be said a certain way. So he was very, quote, picky, which is fine when you're paying somebody that much. But here's the thing. I've gone on record saying that oftentimes the people that pay the most seem to understand what they want. And so those are the shortest. I've also found in a few times that they feel like they need to get exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he didn't know what he wanted to, but he just wanted me to go over and over and over again. And honestly, we got hung up on the word to, T-O. Because when you're doing conversationally, you say, I'm going to the store, to the store. And he wanted me to split the difference between ta and to. And so I always say there were a lot of those in there as well. Yeah, it was tough. And so we,
I don't even know
we
what
did.
that would be.
I had, it wasn't the easiest. And he apologized for being that picky. He's a voiceover guy too, kind of. And so he was fairly, generous. Well, I'm not trying to put him down at all. He had an idea of what he wanted, and then he tried to get it out of me. And so I thought, well, here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I'm very, very, very glad I'm not a newbie.
Okay.
Because that would have been a challenge. That was not for the faint of heart, that particular one. And that's not to scare anybody off. A lot of times people like directed sessions. You and I have talked about that. And you just have to do them. You just have to get better at doing them. And you don't get better at doing something like that until you do it. And that's where I think maybe a little bit my radio career helped, because you flip the switch, you're on, you're live, and you've got to perform. That and timing. I have a timing mechanism in my brain that causes me to know how many words I can fit into 30 seconds. And that's very helpful as well. So those were the type of things. And then the other thing I was thinking was, hey, they're paying you over $10,000.
Sure.
Bend over backwards to make them happy. So I thought overall, it was a great session. And again, my highest payout. Now, these numbers, and I'm closing with this, these numbers don't include the last session.
Okay.
So next week I'll include that with $2,555 from this job. So here's my biggest week ever. Platforms way down. Fiverr's been very slow. $1,270 this week for my platforms. Direct email marketing, $12,753.40 for my grand total, $14,023.40. $14,023.40. Again, we don't give these numbers to brag. That's not it. The numbers are kind of surreal, and it's not like whatever. It's more to encourage you. Those are my direct email marketing numbers. I know those are wild, but I've been doing it for 12 years.
Yeah.
It's a hang in there.
Well, and it's taking
Keep
you
doing it.
It's taking you that long to get. I mean, I know it's 13 years, but you've never had one of that size.
Yeah.
So it's taken some people. It could take them less than that time. You know what I mean?
There are people that do that. Yeah.
But
right.
you've stayed in it, and obviously you've had success. So you're going to continue to stay in it. But that paid off. Would you have ever guessed back when you were where I'm at? I can't ever imagine making even $1,000 a day right now. It's just to me, it's just a little bit wild. Right. So for you, I'm sure you never thought.
Right.
No way.
Because I have cards just like this. This is where I keep my weekly and monthly cards on. And I have a box full of them. And you can go back to 2012 and you can see, that week I made $300. The next week I made $450. The next week I made $250. And the whole month was $2,500. Where now, I'm averaging more like $6,000 to $7,000 a week. So again, it's not to brag, but it's more to just emphasize direct email marketing can help you if you stay in it and if you get numbers out there and you keep getting in front of people. And then all of a sudden you book a job like this, or like a couple of weeks ago, I got my first 12 years. I got my first national television commercial.
Nice.
So it just takes time. At least it has for me.
I'm having to continue to figure that out and just keep on keeping
plug
on.
away.
Yeah.
Yep. You just got to plug away and plod, and good things will happen. Trust me, they will.